Are you tired of MMOs? Do you want to try something new? Have you tried Overwatch 2? You haven't? It's weird. This video is just for you. So, I'm an MMO player myself. I play MMOs quite regularly, but from time to time, I want to play something else. And one of those games that I often return to, and I've been returning for years, in total it's been over 5 years, it's been Overwatch 2. I played a lot of games didn't stick to me, was not appealing enough, or just straight up was very boring, but somehow Overwatch still kept me going, still kept me interesting. I tend to stop playing Overwatch from time to time. Well, I have like several months break when I just stop playing the game, but eventually I'm returning to the game. As a game, Overwatch 2 gives me very cool vibes when it comes to MMOs. And Overwatch has a very nice and close resemblance to MMOs, just from the single thing as it resembles 3 classes as a tank, support, and a damage dealer. The game itself offers you a lot of variety when it comes to hero selection and what kind of role you want to fill in. The game itself, not like other games such as Valorant, Counter-Strike, or Apex Legends, has a specific and strict selections of roles that you need to fill in order for your team to be successful within the game. Why I see this game to be worth mentioning now in 2023, I saw a lot of videos saying that Overwatch player base is declining. I watched the videos, I saw the videos that it's an absolute clickbait, and I noticed that not everyone is completely aware what kind of game it is. So I want to share one of my favorite games, which is Overwatch 2. Formerly it was Overwatch 1, and why I like the game. In today's video we're going to be looking at Overwatch 2, why I see this game to be fit, and I can tell I've been playing this game for over 5 years now with on and off playstyle, and I see myself still returning to the game, even though it's now with the Battle Pass, even though it's been super monetized, but I'm still returning to the game. I still can tell you that I like the game. It's good, the state of the game is really wonderful. I can tell that there's a lot of new players that are joining the game, there's a lot of selection of the heroes, there's a lot of action that's been added to the game recently, and I have nothing but big satisfaction to the game, with a small exclamation mark, a huge pay to win aspect. But about that later. So first off the bat, I can tell you myself, I've been playing Overwatch 2 for over 5 years, as I mentioned in the beginning. I started playing Overwatch 2 in Season 1, and later on in Season 2 I started playing on competitive genre. I can tell you I've been playing Overwatch 2 since Season 2. I started playing when there was not so much heroes as there is now. Currently there's over 30 heroes that you can select from, and it really depends on the playstyle that you wish to accomplish and your objectives that you need to fulfill within the game. As if you're not aware, Overwatch 2 is objective-focused game. It's not a game that you need to kill other players and then you're gonna be granted the victory. It's nothing like that. So if you're former player of Valorant or Counter-Strike or any other shooter that is focused on killing the enemy team, this is not the game. This game is really focusing on your team effort, team alignment, the way you can do things together, and your team composition. So if let's just say you have 5 damage dealers, they go on to fight other team, and they're gonna flop just because other team has healers, they have tanks. So if you're coming from MMO as I am, this game has very close resemblance to MMO genre, as the game itself offers you role selections. So the game itself, I'm gonna tell you about the game modes first. So game offers you push, escort, hybrid, and control maps. Control maps to be my favorite. So in those game modes, your objective is to take control of the objective, basically fulfill the goal, and then you're gonna be granted the victory. It doesn't matter how much kills or eliminations you're gonna get within the game, as you are playing as a team against other teams. So if you're gonna get the 60 eliminations or 6 eliminations, it doesn't matter. your victory gonna depend either you are focusing on objective and taking it, or you're not focusing on objective, focusing on kills and losing objective, therefore you're gonna be resulted in defeat. So your victory reflects on your ability to focus on objective, kill enemy fast enough, but again, objective and the goal is fulfill the game mode and what kind of objective you're speaking of. Okay, I think I had enough of those objective stuff, right? Okay, as you can see, a lot of animations on the screen already about the classes and the game style. It might be a little bit confusing from the start. I can tell you that when I started the game has a little bit less of the roles. As you see now, it had maybe like 20, something like that. It still was a huge overload of information in comparison to other games, but this thing really pays off. If you go to the battlefield, you feel that situation is not going your way, you can simply change the profession that would counter other professions. For example, if you see a flying enemy, you can take sniper. If you see the enemy that is super swift, you can take tank that is electrocuting enemies that are close by that has low health. So you can counter enemies by understanding what kind of abilities you have and what kind of abilities and advantages and disadvantages other races have, other classes. So this game offers you, like, you can learn the game, and this game gonna be advantageous towards your knowledge of the game, and as the game expands and your knowledge of the game expands as well, you are being rewarded with the victories, because you can impact and play a big role if you know what you're doing within the game. Again, that's very cool, I believe. So looking into roles himself, again, I've been playing Overwatch since release, and there's a lot of roles. If you're coming to the game and you haven't really played the game before, might be locked behind the paywall that you need to purchase the game subscription, well, basically the battle pass. But as per me, I have unlocked all of the professions, and I have them since the release of the first version of the game. I can tell you that all of the professions are very unique. It feels very good. You can feel the sense of the profession from the moment you take it till you're shooting something, you're kicking, you're punching, you are flying, or you're dodging attacks. There's movements that you can feel towards each and every singular character. You can see the design aspects of the game. It's not great, but it's polished so well that you can very closely feel resemblance of true heroes, like in Marvel or DC universe, as you can get. The game offers you a variety of roles, which is very similar to MMO genre that I'm from, and I believe you are too. So you have tank, damage, and support roles. Tank being very centric towards having a lot of HP, but it's not focused towards taking down damage and placing a shield wars. Of course, there are tanks that do that, but each hero within the game is here to eliminate other player. Each hero within the game has certain abilities that would diffuse other heroes' abilities. For example, if you're playing a tank that has a big shield, obviously if someone is shooting from far, you can't penetrate the shield unless you break the shield, right? You have other tanks that would gain more damage if you are attacking a certain enemy. For example, you have the hero that has a bubble that can place on herself and place on enemy teammates, that just in case you're attacking certain bubble, the tank who placed the bubble is getting damage boosted because you are attacking the bubble. There's also tanks that can lure enemies towards them and just straight up try shooting or one-hitting them, and just changing the positioning of the heroes that sometimes may result in a team collapse or just easy victory or team wipe, team kill, as there is in the game. And so that's the tanks, that's the complexities of the tanks. And I'm not gonna dive into very specific roles, as it's gonna be a very big topic to dive into, and I'm not gonna overwhelm you of information. Speaking about damage dealers, I think it's very straightforward. You have snipers, you have close abilities, you have a variety of heroes from Team Fortress, of Quake arenas, Doom games, all of the weapons you have here, as well as cool abilities, as the game offers you ultimate abilities. So not only you have abilities tied to your class, but at certain point when you killed enough of players or you played the game long enough within the match, you have ability to use your ultimate ability. And one of the key aspects of damage role players is their abilities are tied to straight up killing enemies and just helping you take down the enemies so quickly that, wow, I don't know, very quickly. And of course you have support heroes. Support heroes, I believe, is the most vital role within the game, as you can't really see damage dealers or tanks surviving anything if healers are not supporting or defusing enemies. So you have the healers that can place certain turrets to heal you. There's the healers that attack enemy and heal the whole team. There's the healers that can just simply be like ninjas within the game, that just climbing walls, teleporting, and healing you whenever, or making you immortal for a couple of seconds if you're taking too much of damage. You can be as much as DPS as a damage dealer, and as much as tank as you like, as you have a very high survivability and you can help the team. So each role within the category fulfills a certain aspect of the game, and there's different combinations of roles you can play within the game, and you are not tied to one particular role for it to be successful. As for example, if you have like the term squishy heroes that has less than 200 HP. So if you have 5 heroes that has less than 500 HP, you can take 2 heroes that has like 600 HP in the game, and you can wipe the whole team. So you can't really focus on killing enemies quickly, as you need to have certain balance of who's gonna keep you alive, who's gonna take the damage. If you're focusing on killing the enemies, who's gonna be on the objective and protecting you. So game creates scenarios in which you need to co-op with the team, you need to seek to find the objective all together. And even without diving into specific roles, I think one of the things that Overwatch game does very well is creates you incentive to play the game without forcing you to fight for something. And one of the things I like about Overwatch is ability to see challenges within the game, complete those challenges and get free skins. I know that previously such thing was a lot easier to acquire than the skins are now, but as I mentioned, I'm gonna cover a battle pass. Alright, so speaking about battle pass, so currently there is second season of Overwatch 2 battle pass. I don't really see that battle pass gonna be temporary thing. I believe it's gonna be here. It will be here to stay. I saw a huge increase in numbers of player base, and the queue times drastically dropped in comparison to Overwatch 2, Overwatch 1. And one of the things that Battle Pass brings, it brings new players and cool skins. It's really cool to see new skins and new inventions added to the game. I really like that a lot. Of course, there's the downside that you need to play the game in order for you to achieve those skins, but it's a kind of incentive to play any game, to have some sort of glamour and cosmetic, right? But one of the things that, besides those good things that Battle Pass brings, Battle Pass also created a game to be free to play, that also created market basically for any skins and any cosmetics that was previously added and was previously achievable within the game, and now it's only paid, and it's really hard to get. I have in my account like several hundreds of skins, and I believe previously what was worth like several, maybe $100-200, something like that, now it should be worth thousands if we would compare the skins that are no longer available and the skins that are worth now, each skin like $20 each. And it's crazy. But well, anyways, I'm happy. I'm a veteran player. I can tell you that if you're willing to invest your time into the game, the knowledge will pay off. And if you're watching the game trailers, if you're really invested into the game, I believe it would be really wise for you to try out the game for free, and afterwards just straight up buy an account of someone that has already purchased it. I know that there's certain limitations when it comes to Overwatch 2 and the free version of the game, but nevertheless I believe that having the original version, maybe some older account that you can purchase, that you can use, and just simply renaming it would grant you additional benefits of having more skins, more heroes, and it would save you time and in most cases I believe even money if you're into glamour and cosmetics. As per now, when it comes to buying skins, when it comes to looking what kind of skins you can buy and what kind of improvements you should have within the game, it really comes to the personal preference. I can tell you that having skins in the game, it's really awesome, but at the same time it sucks that you can't get those skins so easily as it was before. Nevertheless, if you're playing your class, you don't really care what kind of skin you have besides a couple of seconds when you launch the game. You are always looking at the first person. Skins is not main focus of the game, and it does not change how abilities look, how your character feels. It just changes a couple of things, like it changes your weapons and the two hands. So one hand that is holding the weapon, other hand that is probably punching. So I think it's a very good balance of the game. So I think it's okay. It could be better, but it's alright. It's a new battle mode that's available called the Battle for Olympus. This Battle of Olympus mode is just fighting 8 players against each other, who gets the most kills. And not even speaking about this mode in particular, but one of the things that I like about Overwatch, and sometimes I personally like to be competitive, sometimes I don't want to be competitive and I just like to shoot people and don't want to follow the objective. And Overwatch 2, what it does, it gives you a very clear vision and gives you a very, I believe, satisfying result when it comes to your preference. So if I feel that I want to just simply kill people, there's arcade mode that I can focus on and play that solely focuses on your kill count. And if I'm more into objectives or just doing whatever in the game, there's even customizations within modes of Overwatch. So as a player that is playing the game for over 5 years now, I can tell you that in comparison from Counter-Strike and being strict towards your playstyle, gun selection, Overwatch 2 is constantly expanding, giving you new abilities, new play modes to play out and try out. And even though the company itself and the game mode is slow in the development process and enhancement and everything, but it doesn't stop the community from liking the game and joining the game even after years of launch. And one of the things that made the game more alive than it was is releasing it for free. And I really like that. And even though now the game is competing with like Fortnite, Counter-Strike and all of the major games that became free because of the Battle Pass, I can tell you that this is a very good, as it lures and attracts more players towards the game, and developers are being more focused on finding a niche, finding new ways to improve the game and competing with the gamers market. As if you're having a game that is that has a paywall that you need to pay to enter, it automatically kind of builds up some sort of expectation that in order for us to develop something new, there has to be some sort of threshold of players that needs to join the game, and only then we can think of some sort of DLC or expansion of the game. Where if you're on Battle Pass, you have like month-to-month basis. I'm not sure how long Battle Pass passes last, to be frank with you, but I think this is a very good thing that just keeps developers and the core of the management of the game just strictly focused on expanding the game and making the game more fun and more rewarding to the player base and more appealing to the player base. And just singular fact that keeps you focused on making more players join the game brings joy to the current player base. And myself, again, I'm 5 years into the game, and I'm looking forward to playing the newly released Battle for Olympus. Overwatch 2 is the game that if you wish to play and you're tired of MMOs or want to take a break, Overwatch 2 is the best game for you. It has all of the roles, a lot of complexities, a lot of races to dive into, and it's not punishing for any sort of mechanic or thing within the game as others. So the game modes are very swift, very fast, you're always involved, you're always in action, and yeah, overall I like Overwatch 2. If you wish, let me know, we can play together. And yeah, that's my take on Overwatch 2. I think Overwatch 2 overall is a very great game, it's very popular, it's about to get even more popularity as it became free just a couple of months ago. And yeah, 2023 for the game looks really good, really nice, and I wish to spend more time with the game. I am of course tied within other aspects of my life, but somehow Overwatch 2 still manages to squeeze itself in. So yeah, I really like Overwatch 2, and I believe that this video should convince you or make your straight mind either you want to involve yourself in being part of Overwatch 2 or not. Have you tried doing the very same thing over and over again so you could sense the insanity within you? I've been doing the very same thing since video 1. I've been asking people to subscribe. Some people do, some people don't. I hope you are the one that has subscribed. Please subscribe.